Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Want to do a quick video on some of the issues I've been having lately going to the track, and really the importance of making sure you nut and bolt and Loctite some of these bolts. But the last time I went to the track and sprayed nitrous, this little bolt here came loose, and the speed sensor backed out just enough to where this O-ring was past the seal, and it was spraying the transmission fluid all down onto the exhaust. And of course, a little bit got on the track, and nobody wants to do that. So, and I also realized the last couple times I went to the track, sorry, it's dark under here, but my lower starter bolt right here kept coming loose. I don't think you can see it, but sorry, but anyway, this lower starter bolt here fell out one time, and it was a brand new ARP bolt. And then when I put this one in, I didn't have a lock washer on it, and this last time when I changed the transmission, it was halfway out. So I went and got lock washers, and I put Loctite on both of these bolts. And then I even I realized my harmonic balancer bolt had been starting to come loose a little bit, because I was having charging issues, so I was always checking that. And then of course spinning the engine over to check the valves and stuff like that, I noticed it was always, even when I torqued it to spec, it was not that tight. And one thing I realized was, for one, it looked like I had used a used bolt, and this is off. This was the bolt that was in there, and I realized, I'm like, maybe there's something wrong with the bolt. Obviously, you can see this is used, but when I took this out of there, of course, not thinking there was any difference. Sorry guys, I'm sorry, it is a fairly long bolt, but so this was the one that kept coming loose on me right here. And see, it's just your standard bolt. But when I was like, well, let me check, I know I got some other ones around here because I've had like 3 or 4 different Ford cranks. So the one I pulled out of here looked a lot nicer. The washer was heavier duty, it was flanged, so it had and the nut actually set in the washer. So, but also it was about maybe a ½ inch longer too. So anyway, I swapped these balancer bolts, which who knows, I could have, when I took the other one to the machine shop, maybe that was the wrong bolt that was in there. This looks like it's a stock bolt, but I also went ahead and I put a lot of my blue Loctite on there. So we'll check that again, and I torqued it down to 100 foot-pounds. So I've got the longer bolt in there. So that had been backing out. The starter bolt had been backing out. So then I realized I better go through and nut and bolt everything under here. And of course, these were pretty loose. I torqued these down to 50 foot-pounds on the lowers, and went through and double-checked all my uppers and torqued everything to spec. Obviously did the rear lug nuts I could do because the car's in gear, and then I'll double check the front ones, but they weren't bad. But anyway, just wanted to give an update. If you got your car up on the jack stands, it only takes like 15 or 20 minutes to go through and nut and bolt everything. Then of course on the new speed sensor here on the TKO, I've got a lock washer on it. Sorry guys, I'm gonna move this light. I was just back there working on that rear suspension, but you see I've got a flat washer. There's a lock washer underneath that. Sorry guys, it's such a pain trying to do this by yourself. So there's a flat washer here, but there is a lock washer underneath that, and I put some blue Loctite on this speed sensor so it doesn't back out like it did before, and have the transmission fluid come down onto the hot exhaust and create a smoke show at the track. Plus, we don't want any of that getting on the track. So I've gone over all the major bolts underneath here, wiped everything down, and I think we are about good to go for the track. I might take this off, but I don't know. I think I'll run it the next time. But I really don't want to spray anymore with catalytic converters. I mean, that's not good for them. There's no reason to kill them. Well, I can just put these short pipes on real quick. if I'm going to spray nitrous again, but kind of want to go to the track with the full exhaust and this TKO 600 and see what we can do. But anyway, that's the update. Just while you're under there, guys, just, you know, Loctite is your friend. You know, put lock washers on stuff. And I just don't want to be the guy that oils down the track, you know, for skimping out on you know, a washer and a little bit of Loctite. So nonetheless, that's the update for today. We're stormed in this weekend, so that's all I could really do out here was just go over the bottom end, you know, just check all the nuts and bolts and make sure we're prepared for, there is a test and tune next weekend. I'm hoping to make it no problem, but next thing I'm going to do is I can take it down off the jack stands now, and then I will go over, I'll double check, someone mentioned with the new transmission just to double check your pinion angle, and I will do that when I get the car on the ground. So I think I'm done. I think I'll go through, I'll tighten the exhaust one more time since I ran it up to temp once or twice, just make sure everything's tight, and then I'll take it off the jack stands and check pinion angle and the front lug nuts, and I think we're about ready to go. All right, guys, hope everybody's having a great weekend. I appreciate you checking out my channel, and hit the like and subscribe if you know, if you got a second to hit the button down there. Thank you.